Hey guys, so what has this group observed so far? What have you seen? Really? Wow. So why do you think that the one by the windowsill had the highest temperature? Do you have any idea of that? You think it's because of the sun? But can you tell me a little more why would the sun make it the highest temperature? Exactly. You're right. The sun does give off heat. The sun heats things up. Awesome. Okay, cool. Good observations. Good job. What about you guys? Was there any observation that you guys made that surprised you? Is there something you didn't think about? Okay. So why do you think that the one that was in the closet was cooler than the one in the lit classroom? They were both inside, so what do you think is the difference there? Okay. So you think that because the closet, the light was off, that made a difference? Is that what you're saying? Yeah, definitely. So maybe the light in the classroom, in the lit classroom, added heat. Why do you think that there would be heat because the light is on? Okay, cool. Make sure you write that down in your lab, explaining that you think that the light brings out heat that is ending up heating the orange juice more than the one in the room where it was dark and cool. Okay, awesome. Good observation. Ladies and gentlemen, stop what you're doing just for a minute and look up here. Okay, so I was walking around asking some people some questions, talking about what you guys were finding, and I heard really great things, and I think you guys are making really great observations. So, what I want from you now, I think everyone just about finished taking their measurements, right? Yeah, did everyone fill out their chart completely? Okay, awesome. So, what I want from you now is to take a few minutes to just answer some of those questions that are about your results. And then, what we're going to do after is we're going to discuss them as a class. So, just take some more time to finish that up. Good job. And then, when you guys do finish, what I want you to do is everyone bring your orange juices to me. One person from each group bring your orange juice to me, and then another person from your group bring the thermometers to me as well. But keep your packets because we're going to share our results and talk about why we found these observations. Good job, everyone.
Okay, eyes up here. Everyone should be finished with filling out their packet. All the questions that we already discussed as a class, those were the things that you were answering in your lab packet. So about why our orange juice that was outside had that hotter temperature and why our orange juice that was inside had a cooler temperature, and then the orange juice in the refrigerator had an even cooler temperature. So those were the extension questions that we had. I know we talked about it a little bit as a class, but now I want to see if we can dive a little bit deeper and really explain why. So we know already that the sun provides warmth, and we know that in return, things that are outside get hot. So our orange juice got hot, just like if me and you were to go run outside and play around, we're going to get a little hot too. But we know when we come inside, we start to cool down because the temperature inside is a little bit cooler, right? Okay, so now I want you to try to give an explanation using some of that technical vocabulary that you're going to hear in the video. Okay, so we just really want to get a deeper understanding of why things get hot from the sun, why things might get cooler when they're in a different environment. Okay? Everybody good? Understand instructions? Give me a thumbs up. Okay, guys. So that was a pretty cool video. I know we heard some words that we've definitely seen before, but we needed a little bit of a reminder or just a better understanding of them. So some of those words, temperature, which we already have for today, we already learned about that one pretty in depth. So I think we got it. Raise your hand if you understand the vocabulary term temperature. Okay, great. So our next two, we have radiation and heat transfer. Now those were talked about a lot in the video. Can somebody raise their hand and tell me a little bit about radiation? Yeah? Great. Okay, so radiation is just the type of energy that the sun gives off. Cool. And heat transfer. Does somebody want to raise their hand and let me know about heat transfer? Okay, so we seem a little confused about that term. So heat transfer is just about basically what it sounds like, heat going from one source to another. So for example, With the sun transfers heat onto everything else, basically. So if we're outside, we're running, we're playing, and all of a sudden we're sweating, we're getting hot, the sun is transferring that heat energy and it gets onto us. And so in return, we get hot. Everyone understand? Thumbs up, thumbs down? Okay, great. So now you're going to take those same questions that we already had in our extension packet, just why did the orange juice that was outside have the hotter temperature? And why did the orange juice that was inside in the refrigerator have a cooler temperature? So I'm going to go ahead and pass out a sticky note to everybody, moment with your group members, and just try to come up with the answer with that. I want everyone to use all 3 of these vocabulary words, and then we'll come back and share, okay? Okay, so I went around and collected some of our sticky notes, and for our first question, we have, why was the orange juice outside hotter? And one of our groups says, the radiation from the sun made the heat transfer to the orange juice, so the temperature rose. That sounds pretty good to me. Let's see if they had all of the words. The radiation, good. From the sun made the heat transfer, good, to the orange juice, so the temperature rose. Does everyone agree with that statement? Good. Okay, me too. That is a perfect explanation. So now, one of our groups wrote, in response to why the orange juice got colder in the refrigerator, they said the cold transferred to the orange juice, so it got colder. Now, we're missing a few of our vocabulary words, but this one is a little bit tricky. So, something they didn't mention in the video is that heat, it only transfers from hot to cold. So, it's never the cold transfers to the hot thing. It's always whatever's hottest transfers its energy down to whatever is a little bit cooler. So, with the refrigerator, what do we think that means, the orange juice in the refrigerator? Was the coldness transferring to the orange juice or what? Okay, yeah, good. So what he just said was maybe the little bit of heat that's in the orange juice is actually transferring out into the refrigerator. So all the heat leaves that orange juice, which makes it colder. That's awesome. Good job. Okay, so now that we've discussed these a little bit as a class, go ahead, take these last few minutes just to revise your answer you wrote in your packet, and then we're all good to go. Good job, everybody.